Hi, Right Writers. Cruz here. Thank you so much for joining me. In this video, we are going to be attempting a persuasive essay on a student's plans after high school. This essay is modeled pretty much after the Oxford Test of English, where they allow you to write or ask you to write at least 160 words or as close to that as possible in 25 minutes. However, on this channel, I attempt to do it in 20 minutes because I am a native English speaker. Let's take a look at the prompt and then I will go ahead and start our timer at 20 minutes. So we have here some people go right on to college after high school. Others take a year or more off to work or travel. Which do you think is the better choice? State your position and support it with specific reasons and examples. So now, Right Writers, I am starting the timer. And let's take a look at how to address this. So again, it's really of this idea of when you're a student, you graduate. Should you go directly to school to your next course of study, or should you take that time to again work or travel? I can tell you that I know what I always advise my high school students if they do not know what they want to do, or if they are unsure about what to study, they are undecided. I typically encourage them to take a year or more off to work or travel and give them that time to think about what interests them and to try on different careers or different jobs, sort of like we do attire or clothing, to determine what they like. And sometimes I tell students it's easy. Sometimes it's easier to know what you do not like. And based on what you do not like, then you start to narrow down what you do actually want to do. So let's take a look at, I think I'm definitely going to go with the idea of taking a year or more off to work or travel. Obviously, Right Writers, in the next video, I'm going to encourage students to go right on to college after high school, but my personal belief is definitely to wait if you are undecided. So I want to make sure that I state my position and again support it with specific reasons and examples. So definitely one of the reasons or examples that I can think of before I launch right into my thesis is, this is a savings and cost. So cost savings because you don't have to worry about, college debt and spending thousands of dollars trying to figure out what you want to be when you grow up. Another idea is that, another reason why you might want to take a year or more off to work or travel is it provides what we typically call real world experience, and so that lets young people again experience the real world, and they can use that experience to write their college entrance essay when they are ready to go on to college. Another idea is, besides real world experience, or another reason why they should consider working or traveling, is because they have, young people have the luxury of time. So those are some ideas that I have because again, when you're young, you have all the time in the world. And I argue no matter what age you are, I still argue that you have the luxury of time because no one knows when their time is up. So we really have that luxury, despite your age, one's age, and you should never use that as an excuse for not doing something. But that's a personal belief here. So I've got my at least three reasons why I would wait to take a year off. And again, if you're undecided, especially. So I definitely want to include that in my introduction. But let me go ahead and create so I've got reasons why, and then I can go into examples later. And let me go ahead and create my thesis. I'm at 16 minutes, right, writers? So I'm going to move this up just a little bit. So definitely my thesis would be something like, therefore, young people who are unsure of what, let's see, how would I put that? Therefore, young people who have not yet decided or not yet chosen a career, who have not chosen a career path, should take a year or more off to therefore young people who have not chosen or who have not determined a specific career path should take a year or more off to work or travel. Okay, so obviously I'm going to make that the last sentence of my introduction and the first sentence of my conclusion. And here, you could start to see, right, writers, my body paragraph is basically going to cover this part right here. And now that I have some ideas, I can use these ideas in my introduction as well. So let's think about how I might start this. And that is something like, you know, um, some 13 minutes and 50 seconds remaining, right, writers? Let's see. Some people, this is the toughest part, right, writers, just thinking about how to start this. Okay, something like figuring out what you want to be when you grow up is a challenging figuring out what you want to be when you grow up is challenging. While some individuals know from childhood, while some individuals know exactly what interests them, others flounder. While some individuals know exactly what interests them, others flounder because they either have too many interests While some individuals know exactly what interests them or what fascinates them, I like the word fascinates better. While some individuals know exactly what fascinates them, others flounder because they either have too many interests or they have not been exposed. Others flounder because they either have too many interests or they have not been exposed to many opportunities. Okay, let's take a look at that, right, writers? 10 minutes remaining. Figuring out what you want to be when you grow up is challenging. While some individuals know exactly what fascinates them, others flounder because they either have too many interests or they have not been exposed to many opportunities. Therefore, young people who have not determined a specific career path should take a year or more off to work or travel. Okay, that's a little bit of a hiccup, right, writers, between these two sentences. A sentence needs to go right here. It's just not flowing very well. So I've got to kind of tie it together in some way. So let's see if I can bring up this idea of, going right to college after high school. Um, let's see, or they have not been exposed to many opportunities. Going off to college or going right to college after high school, or that's why, for those who are unsure about who they want to be, should avoid going right to college after high school. Now, I'm going to do something different, right, writers? That's why those who are unsure, that's why those who are unsure about who they want to be, okay, I'm going to use therefore, and I'm going to change it up, right, writers. I'm actually going to use the transition word instead on this in this particular prompt because I think that makes more sense. Figuring out what you want to be when you grow up is challenging. While some while some know exactly, and I think I'm going to take out individuals, while some know exactly what fascinates them, others flounder because they either have too many interests or they have not been exposed to many opportunities. Therefore, those who are unsure about who they want to be Therefore, those who are unsure about who they want to be should avoid going to a college right after high school, going right to college after high school. Instead, young people who have not determined a specific career path should take a year or more off to work or travel. Okay, this sentence is super clunky, so I've got to shorten this one. Okay, and maybe I'll say, therefore, those who are unsure should avoid, or therefore, if you are unsure about who you want to be, you should avoid going right to college after high school. Instead, young people who have not determined a specific career path should take a year or more off to work or travel. Okay, I think that sounds a little bit better, right, writers? So I am going to copy this, and I've got 4 minutes and 30 seconds remaining, right, writers, for my body paragraph. Therefore, now I'm going to my conclusion here. Therefore, young people who have not determined a specific career path should take a year or more off, should take time to work or travel. And I think I'm going to say, um, what you want to be when you grow up is challenging. Therefore, if you're unsure about who you want to be, you should avoid going to college right after high school. And I'm going to take this sentence out. That's there, right, writers? And now for my body paragraph. Again, I'm not sure if I'm going to hit the 160 words, but I've got 3 minutes and 40 seconds, or just under 40 seconds, to create my body paragraph here. Should take a year or more off. And I'm going to take that part off and say just should take time off, should take time to work or travel. And let's see, reasons why. So, and just thinking about specific reasons or examples. Instead, young people who have not determined a specific career path should take time to work or travel. I'm going to say, although it may seem strange, although it may seem odd to procrastinate, although young people are often told not to procrastinate, I'm trying to think of that. And I've got just under 2 minutes remaining. Although procrastinating sounds like a bad idea, in this case, it is not. Jumping right into college with no direction will end up costing you thousands of dollars with no direction will end up costing you thousands of dollars as you bounce from 55 seconds remaining as you bounce from um, class to class, trying to figure out what interests you. 25 seconds. In addition, real world experience. So I'm going to take out the luxury of time there. In addition, real world experience, 9 seconds remaining, right, writers? Will help you. Okay. All right, right, writers. That was my timer. So I've basically just stopped here. Will help you. And if I put a period there, that would be where it would end. In addition, real world experience will help you. In this case, what do you do? I mean, I could also have decided to take this sentence out entirely and just left it at, although procrastinating sounds like a bad idea, in this case, it is not. Jumping right into college with no direction will end up costing you thousands of dollars as you bounce from class to class trying to figure out what interests you. So I could just again take out that sentence there, and I could have been that could have worked. That's another option that I could have gone. And so if I had taken that sentence out, I see one, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight. So I would have ended up with 171 words. Please keep in mind, right, writers, that the Oxford Test of English does give you a word count as you're typing. So you're able to, again, see um see what's available as far as like how many words you have left. So and you can start to edit and deduct. Let's take a look at how this reads with this sentence that I have highlighted, and then we will take it away and just reread the body paragraph and the conclusion, because ultimately it's the transition between the body to the conclusion. But I will say that, again, I'm a little bit disappointed in the result here, but sometimes it's important to go ahead and share my experience. And that's what this channel really is about. It's not always about writing perfectly and having everything work out exactly as you wanted it to. All right, let's take it from the top, right, writers. Again, introduction, body, conclusion, and then we'll take out that sentence highlighted and just reread the body paragraph and the conclusion and just check on the flow for that. Figuring out what you want to be when you grow up is challenging. While some know exactly what fascinates them, others flounder because they either have too many interests or they have not been exposed to many opportunities. Therefore, if you are unsure about who you want to be, you should avoid going right to college after high school. Instead, young people who have not determined a specific career path should take time to work or travel. Although procrastinating sounds like a bad idea, in this case, it is not. Jumping right into college with no direction will end up costing you thousands of dollars as you bounce from class to class trying to figure out what interests you. In addition, real world experience will help you. Therefore, young people who have not determined a specific career path should take time to work or travel. Figuring out what you want to be when you grow up is challenging. Therefore, if you are unsure about who you want to be, you should avoid going right to college after high school. Okay, couple of things here. Obviously, you can see the therefore and then the therefore, right, writers. So that's a big hiccup. So for me, I would again change this and make this instead. And I really don't like this sentence at all. It just doesn't go anywhere and it takes away from the writing. And so I'll just reread this body paragraph, right, writer, so you can hear the difference and the conclusion. Although procrastinating sounds like a bad idea, in this case it is not. Jumping right into college with no direction will end up costing you thousands of dollars as you bounce from class to class trying to figure out what interests you. Therefore, young people who have not determined a specific career path should take time to work or travel. Figuring out what you want to be when you grow up is challenging. Instead, if you are unsure about who you want to be, you should avoid going right to college after high school. So again, I see areas where I can delete and edit this even further and remove some words in the conclusion. And so I would just say instead, if you are unsure, you should avoid going to college, or you should avoid college. You should avoid college after high school. Okay, let's see that word count, right, writers, and see if that actually gets me closer to 160. Okay, I'm at 162. So again, just deleting that little bit there gets me, I just need to then delete two more words, and I would probably do it obviously in my introduction. And I could just say this: you should avoid college, and that would save me three words, and I would end up with 159 right there. So, right, writers, again, this is one of those examples where, we're trying to go for 160 words in 20 minutes. We went over the count. I did some editing, but again, you can kind of see I do like visually the way this essay looks because it's a bit more balanced. Notice how the body and the conclusion are almost the same length. It would be nice to maybe have the introduction a similar length. I think that is visually appealing for a reader. But again, I struggled a bit, had some great ideas, which I really didn't use any of them except the cost of college. But spending too much time planning ends up working against you when you have a clock on your back. Better to just start jumping in where the ideas are going rather than delaying the typing and, again, creating those paragraphs as soon as those ideas come to you. And I should have done that. I should have immediately started on my body paragraph and then gone back to my introduction and conclusion. So, right, writers, even though I know this topic intimately because I'm constantly asked by high school students what they should do, um, that understanding that topic may have actually worked against me because, again, I know the topic so well, and sometimes that happens. I know that seems counterintuitive, but it's true. Sometimes the more you know about a topic, the more challenging it is to write about because you have so many ideas that you're not sure which direction to go. So, with that, right, writers, I leave you and I hope you have a great rest of your week. Thank you so much for subscribing to this channel and for supporting Right Writers with Cruise. Again, have a great rest of your week. Take care, Right Writers. Love you guys. Bye bye.